This is this is Daf Mem Aleph of Yerushalmi Berachos, according to the article. Was part of pagination, which corresponds to Daf Kaf Ches Mem Aleph in the Vilna pagination. Lo yeshiv adam agabe safso shesefer Torah munach u'tonos olav. I should have said we're starting right at the top of the page. So lo yeshiv adam agabe safso shesefer Torah olav. Person should not sit on a bench which is Sefer Torah. There was a story with Rabbi Elazar who was sitting on a bench. He obviously did not know that there was a Sefer Torah there. And he jumped up in front of himself. Well, not for himself. He jumped up in front of the Sefer on account of the Sefer Torah. Like somebody jumps up when they see a snake. But it's on something else, so it's on a different level. So then it is mutter to sit on the bench. So how different? What has to be the differentiation between the bench and the place where the Sefer Torah is sitting? Tefach has to be a tefach. The Sefer Torah has to be on something which is holding it a tefach above the bench, saying it's sitting on the bench. As long as it's any amount above the bench, you can still sit on the bench. Daisky says the Pnei Moshe is a sack which was full of Sfarim, or there were the bones of a mace inside it. This is even though you might think it's bizayon for the mace or bizayon for the svarim, says the Pnei Moshe, mafshil al chamor, the mayachorav, you put it on the donkey behind you, v'rochev ve'eno choshish, and you can ride, and you don't have to be concerned that you'll be muvaz of the svarim or the bones of the dead. Tefillin, tolo osam me'rasho samita. If you have tefillin, you have to hang them at the head of the bed. Lo eno tolo osam be'margola samita, and that the foot of the bed, which evidently is much more of a bizayon. Rabbi Yishmael, Rabbi Avo, B'Shem Rabbi Elazar, Rabbi Shem, Rabbi Chanina, Rabbi Yotos Atfilin, Mirashu Samita. He actually did this, hung up his tefillin at the head of the bed. Rabbi Chizkiah, B'Shem Rabbi Avo, Vachlo Yavei Kadein Daiklora. You shouldn't do like Daiklora. What's that? It says Moshe Kmo Asal Shayu Hazeh Shetolin Harutzua Milamala Vasal Milamata Shu Derech Bizayon. You hang it by the straps with the bite hanging down. And so she sits as a Milamala. The bottom has to be on top. Rutzua is Milamata and Rutzua is hanging down. Declaria says in Sal Perkan the Megillah. So in any event, it should not be like a basket hanging down from its straps, but rather the bottom should be on top. Somebody who sneezes during his davening, it's not a good sin for him. But much of this is in the Bible too. It's only if a person passes gas. It's from the mala, but if a person actually sneezes from his mouth, low. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. Ashid Mar Rabbi Chanina, and this is going like Rabbi Chanina said. Anira Isias Rebbe, I saw Ibn Nasi, Befaik, he was yawning with matesh and sneezing, but Nisin Yodav al Piv. And he was to put his hand on his mouth. Evidently, this was okay to do during davening. And obviously, this was a malah, and that's why it was okay. Avalo rokik, but you can't spit. If you're marafil rokik deshia koso noki. It's interesting language. Even if you spit in order to make your cup clean. So what is your cup here? So Pnei Moshe says it's pivus fasa. It's in order to your mouth should be clean before you daven. Mashbiach, when it says along those lines, says koso is your mouth. From the language of koseis, to chew. So the place where you chew, you want it to be clean. With front of Asr, in front of you to spit in front is Asr, obviously, the direction you're davening. Lachra mutter, behind him is permissible. The yamina asr, to his right hand is asr. The small mutter to his left hand is mutter. See, pomi tzidcha elef. So on your left side is less significant. Pomi tzidcha elef or vava, 10,000, 1,000 on the left side, 10,000 on the right side is more significant. You should not spit in that direction. Says the Gemara further. By the Rakak Itztilin, the Mashbiach explains, in a place where people are wearing long garments, which will get soiled by the spittle, which is on. So then you should not spin. Who also? It's forbidden. The Charedim has a different girsa. Charedim says a girsa. I can find it right now. Itzlin du mutter. Kavas of a Rash Hashem arrived. The Gersin okay. Perish Itzlis talis. Klomar Bavli. Dam la rok mavlil talis over sekto. So it means he's saying that you go like this, and then you can spit into your garment, but not outright. But again, it's a very different meaning according to the Mashbiach. That it means it's also when somebody's garments are going to get dirty as a result. Shimon Levi Omer Aroki based on Knesses. Somebody who spits in shul. Kirokek Baba saying it's like somebody spits in the apple of his eye. Rabbi Yonah Rokek V'Shayif. Rabbi Yonah he spit and he rubbed the spittle into the ground, and that way it was evidently not as much of a bizayon. If you go into, at least I don't know about other Chasim Lubavitchers, when they say in Aleinu Shem Mishtachim Lehaverik, especially El Yoshia, so they put their hand in front of their mouth, one turn to the side, I guess it's to the left side, and they spit on the ground, and then they're supposed to rub it into the ground with their shoe. As evidently something similar to Rabbi Yonah. Rabbi Yirmiyah, Rabbi Shmuel Bar Chalaf, the Shem, Rabbi Ada Bar Achva, Amaspal Ayarok Achielach Arba Amos. You should not, where you're davening, you should not spit. You should walk 4 amos away in order to spit because it's a bizayon to your tefillah. The Maraponian brings down that the Russian the Tur brings this down, and I guess that makes it. I guess otherwise it's not in the Bavli. In the Bavli, it says specifically about urinating. I don't think it speaks about spitting in the Bavli, but this is a similar idea. Vice versa. If you spit, you shouldn't daven Achiach Arba Amos until you walk 4 amos away. Tani, Amaspal Ayatil Mayim. This we know is in the Bavli. Yeah, Megillah Chavav. It's interesting. The Masar Shatz usually does not bring down the Yerushalmis, but here it says that the previous statement is in the Yerushalmi Megillah. Okay, so this is in the Bavli in Megillah as well, about the urinating. It's the same principle. You don't actually have to walk away 4 amos physically. If you delay the amount of time it takes to walk 4 amos, then you can spit in that place, or urinate in that place. Of course, the other way around, it's not going to work if you urinate somewhere you're not supposed to daven there. But after davening, if you're not davening in a shul, davening in a street or somewhere, then you just wait and then you can do it. If you, it's kind of like a raya, that which is if you require somebody to walk 4 amos it should be also to go daven daven anywhere in the city. On the Yomer, I should say echad ba v'itil sham. Somebody else came and urinated or spit there. And they said, the Marapani Moses says in the Bavli, it's similar to the thing. Says something, Dino Spam, Market Arba, so Mashtini, Yaki, Kadashtino, Lukul, Shvil, Ardoi. The Ain Lecha, Arba, Amishlis, Balu, Ben, of the Chovin. Okay, so therefore it means, again, you wait 4 amos, and then you wait you look 4 amos, and then you urinate. But it's the other way around. Obviously, the urine is still. We're going to learn about the halachas of what's be'ain and what's not be'ain. So let's go on and see whether after you urinate you daven somewhere. If there's urine on the ground, can you daven somewhere? Rabbi Abba b'shem Rab. Tzoa ad shetiyabesh ke'etzem. If you have excrement, you can't daven in its presence. You have to distance yourself from it for amos until it's dry like a bone. Mayim, urine, close manchein mapichin. As long as it's still moist, you can't daven there. Once it's not moist, it's okay. Kniva amar mayim close manchein shumon nikar. This is much. It seems to be much longer. As long as you can actually see a trace of the water, which I think is still there after it's no longer moist. Shmuel Amar ad she'ikarmu panel, and Shmuel says that by excrement it's until it crusts over, which is probably before it becomes hard like a bone. Shimon bar Vav b'shem Rabbi Yochanan ad she'ikarmu panel. Same idea. Rabbi Yirmiyah b'shem Rab Tzoa afilu asir k'etzem atzura. No. Even if it's like a bone, it's also. It's just the very fact that there's excrement, recognizable as excrement in the area. Shmuel Amar ad she'ikarim paneh until it crusts over. Shem bar Amar b'shem Rabbi Yochanan ad she'ikarim paneh, which seems to be redundant with the lines before. Perhaps one of these lines is supposed to be actually taken out. Amar Chizka, Rabbi Abba machmir b'mayim yosim min hatzoa. Says that Rabbi Abba is more machmir by urine than with excrement. So the Pnei Moshe explains. Amar Chizka, Rabbi Abba machmir b'mayim yosim min hatzoa b'tmiah. The guys appears door of either come on. What is tmiya is, we don't see later on. So it's actually an astonishment. It's more machmir by mayin than by tzoa. Only Ramana min hada the gniva. The Mashbiach changes the Amar late to Islay. From that which Gniva said, that's where his source is. In other words, that urine is actually Yerushalmi Nikar, which is actually Nikar. It's Asr, which is a very long time. So he takes the longest shear, whereas by the Tzoa, he said. No, he said. Well, let's not explain. By Tzoa actually said Gabish Katzim. So I said, Niva, again, Islay, that Rabbi Abba holds, I feel Asura Etzem Asura. Even if it's like a bone, hard like a bone, it's Asur, Minei Shema Moshe Kayim, because the substance is there. So it's not this Rabbi Abba said. Rabbi Abba is the one who said that it's Acha. So now he's saying, I feel say Ketzim Asuram, Nishim Shamasha Kaim, Maim Ema Masha Kaim. So this is that's a bit complicated. Let's explain it. So I got my mashbiach here, and he says to look the mechal mayim and the ribaz, and both he says dochuk. So therefore he says kachli arishon lemar. I'm going to take the license to say that it seems difficult. Geniva is machmir more than anybody else by water, right? By urine. He says as long as there's still a roshan. So why is Shmuel saying about Rabbi Abba that he's more machmir by urine? It's not true. It's Gniva is more machmir, but it's not difficult. So he says Rabbi Abba, his opinion expresses his opinion that by excrement it's until it's dry like a bone. But it's still substance. It's still there. The substance is still there. By water, by urine, he said, as long as it's moist, even if the substance is not there. In other words, it can be moist even if you don't see any actual liquid, right? So that's not Gniva. Gniva was more machmir. Okay, so then he holds that as long as Rishuma Nikar, and by urine, it's possible that he holds the same thing, but similar thing by excrement. That as long as there is substance, it's also. So so that which Rabbi Mona said min hadah is from that which Rabbi Mona asked from that which Rabbi Mona asked Rabbi Abba, not from Gniva, because it's muchad that Gniva islay, that even if it's asura etzem asura, I mean, because its mamoshes still exists, whereas by urine, it also has to be, and that mamosh is not there. So therefore, urine and according to Geneva, urine and excrement are the same. So he said, and then he says all the cooking here are, but that which they thought the olive lamed is amarle, but it's not like that. It's islay, and he brings down that this evidently in the older shasim it said islay, it said olive lamed, and the newer shasim. They fixed it. They fixed it up and they made the Amarle into Islay. I'm sorry, they made the Alf Lamed into Amarle, but it should have been Islay. Okay, so they made it worse. They should have just said Alf Lamed. So again, Amar Chizka Rabbi Abba Machmir b'Mayim Yosem min Hatzoah. Rabbi Abba is more Machmir by the urine than he is by Tzoah. So Rabbi presumably that's because Rabbi Abba holds like Gniva, that it's calls Manchu Shuma Nikar. Oh no, sorry, that's a mistake. Sorry, going back to Rabbi Abba name of Rav Tzoach Yavish Getz and Mayim calls Manchu Pichin. Right, this is he's saying that by the Mayim, as long as it's even though the substance is not recognizable. It's still usher as long as it's moist. That's the way the Mashbiach is explaining it. So it's still usher, even though his mamash is not nikar because there's moisture there. By the tzoa, he's saying as long as the yavish katzim, even though the substance is there, it's fine. He's saying no. Even the substance is not there, since it's moist, it's still a problem. Okay, so then from that which the Gniva said, and this is a separate statement, Filu asur etzem asura, from the Gniva's position, and he's explaining just Gniva's position, is that excrement, even if it's bone dry, will be usur. Because it's mamoshes is still there. Because you see that he holds that mayim aim mamoshim kaim. He can't once he holds it has to be until the point that aim shumunikar, where there's no mamoshes at all. So therefore, he's saying that by excrement, also it's going to be even if it's bone dry, it's not good enough, and therefore, yeah. And whereas urine, even if it's well, let's put it this way again. It says, Yesh Moshe Kayim, because the Moshe is there. It has to be like water, like urine, where Ein Moshe is Kayim in order to be permitted to say Shema there. Okay, this is a difficult piece of Gemara. There are many upshatim here. I think Mashbiach is the easiest to go with. Says the Mishnah, Zav Sharua Keri, a Zav who became Baal Keri, for neither Shpot Shich Vazera, when it's a Nida, so they both are to have Tumah Chamura, but they suffered then Tumah Kala, Keri, and neither Shpot Shich Vazera. It's also tantamount to Nida if some Zera came out of her. V'Hamshamesh Sharua Nida, and a woman who had relations and then became a Nida, Tzricha Tefillah. They all required Tefillah for their lighter Tumah. Even though they have a more grave tumah, they still have to go do tefillah for their lighter tumah. Rabbi Yehuda Poter. Rabbi Yehuda says it's Poter, which seems to be more reasonable because he said anyway. Tamei tumah chamura. Why should go to the mikveh? The Gemara here gets the first lines of Gemara are complicated, so I think we'll leave tomorrow for the Gemara for tomorrow. And see what we can do with it.